So Floyd is set to fight Castillo again because, the controversial first fight. And Floyd said that he was going to give him a chance. So he's giving Castillo a shot to get his title back, since Castillo believed he won the first fight. So Floyd was a man of his word. He gave Castillo the rematch that he promised. Castillo was 46-5-1 for the rematch. Castillo was given the rematch, and he lost again by unanimous decision again. I really do not see much difference in this fight from the first fight, other than Floyd having a hurt shoulder in the first fight. People said he beat Floyd in the first fight because of Castillo's style and power. Floyd had finally met his match. If that was true, then it should have been proven in this second fight. Floyd wins this fight by unanimous decision again, like I said. And I basically had to discuss the controversy of who won the first fight in the previous audio. But my real focus is still to show that Floyd was fighting the best challenges out there and not ducking anybody. Because if he had not given Castillo a rematch, people would have said, oh, he ducked Castillo because he knew he lost the fight. But he didn't do that. He gave Castillo the rematch. So he wasn't afraid, and he didn't believe Castillo beat him, and he proved it here in the second fight. So let's check that out.
Was stolen from him in his first fight against Floyd Mayweather. He certainly finished very, very strongly. This is the man who was sparring partner to the great Julio Cesar Chavez for 5 years. He'll have learned plenty, and he did learn plenty.
Well, he certainly learned what it's like to be tough. He won this back very badly indeed. He wants to win here. Last time he felt aggrieved, he felt robbed. He went forward, fought a great tough fight, really took it to Mayweather, but now he wants to get his revenge.
He certainly felt that he hurt Mayweather, especially late on in the first fight. He said, I hurt him more than he hurt me. Tonight, he aims to leave no room for argument. This is a meeting of the top two lightweights in the world, and this is one of them. Jose Luis Castillo, the former WBC lightweight champion. Here comes the pretty boy, Floyd Mayweather, to a mixed reception, it has to be said, from the Mandalay Bay crowd here. This is a man who seems to have been getting himself involved in rows with everybody. His partner, his father, his promoters, the television channel that covers him over in America. He just seems a troubled individual, but there's a feeling here that all of that just might spark him into another big performance. He's due one.
Well, that's exactly right. He needs a big performance. He needs to look good here, because he hasn't really looked that good recently. He's boxed so much on the back foot. He needs to be strong. He needs to do it well.
28-0 though, Floyd Mayweather, and certainly in the argument for the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He wouldn't have the title at the moment. But in here, the Mandalay Bay, the action's always hot. Top class this. Can Castillo take the crown back from the unbeaten Floyd Mayweather? Mayweather, who finished weakly in their first fight and looked troubled by the strength of a very insistent Castillo, who many people felt was robbed in the first fight. That was certainly the view of the American television channel watching it at ringside. Mayweather in what's described as Carolina blue trunks here.
Well, that first meeting, it was Mayweather's first fight at lightweight, straight for the title, and he won it. So maybe he's a bit stronger now.
Expect this to be a battle between the pressure and strength of Castillo and the clever back foot boxing of Mayweather. Or will Mayweather try to meet fire with fire a little more this time? We shall see.
Well, he can punch when he needs to, Mayweather, although he does have bad hands at times.
Well, he says he'd be a vicious knockout artist if it wasn't for those bad hands which have troubled him since his amateur days. But he is a real skillster, as they say over here, Mayweather. all the time Mayweather's looking to sucker him in and counter him with those fast punches and then nip away again.
Well, that's his game there again, a little short right hand over the top as Castillo comes in.
And Floyd Mayweather, the dark blue of Jose Luis Castillo. Remember, he's looking to get back this WBC lightweight crown tonight at a packed Mandalay Bay. Lovely countering right hand again from Mayweather. Sometimes he can make punching look like poetry.
Well, he's got to find more of those shots. Because Castillo's strong and coming forward. I've got Castillo ahead, 58-56. I've just got him winning the last round.
Which I gave to Mayweather, which is why I have it level. This week. They're throwing the toys out of the pram. He was even talking about this being his last fight, retiring. I don't think anybody took that seriously. He does need to get his ego back under control, Mayweather. It's about the size of the Mojave Desert near here at the moment.
Yes, he is a moody character.
Bit of late drama there as the bell goes. Mayweather knows he's won the fight, I think. Climbs up onto the ropes, says no controversy this time. Castillo has the look of a beaten man. There was no attempt from him to raise his arms aloft. I think everybody knows the score, including members of the Castillo family. Mayweather's won it.
All to the winner by way of unanimous decision. And still WBC lightweight champion of the world, pretty boy Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Doesn't get a big reception, Mayweather, by 2 points on 2 of the cards and by 3 points on Larry O'Connell's card. I thought it was a bit wider than that, actually, but we've got the right winner here, and no two ways about it.
Jose Luis Castillo, he was real tough. You know, a tough opponent, and that's what I was looking for, a tough fight, a good, exciting fight, and that's what he brought tonight.
The scores were even closer this time than last time, and yet last time you fought with an injured shoulder. How do you account for that?
Like I said before, I'm the black sheep of boxing. I'm fighting against the odds, but with prayers and God behind me, can't nothing stop me.
What odds are you talking about?
I'm saying, I feel like everybody is against Floyd Mayweather, but you gotta get respect where respect is due. I'm one of the best out there, pound for pound, and I prove myself over and over again. Floyd Mayweather's not ducking or dodging any opponent out there. I'm willing to fight whoever, whenever.
So does that mean that next time you might fight a Stevie Johnson or a Juan Lezcano?
Anything is possible. Like I said, I love to fight Stevie Johnson. I love to fight Juan Lezcano. But like I said, I'm looking forward to the bigger paydays, to the bigger fighters out there. I mean, like I said before, I want to fight big fights, and I got to give thanks all to God and my family, Team Mayweather. Without them, Floyd Mayweather wouldn't be where he's at today.
All right, next up, after he moved past the Castillo fights, Floyd gets Victoriano Sosa, who was 35-2-2. Sosa is a cousin of the famous baseball home run hitting Sammy Sosa. Sosa had nearly beaten the highly ranked Paul Spadafora. In fact, Paul Spadafora was the #1 ranked fighter to Floyd, and they had been trying to get that fight, but it never did happen. And Sosa had actually dropped Spadafora in their fight, and Spadafora was still undefeated. He was able to come back and beat Sosa in that fight, but Sosa almost defeated the #1 contender, and Floyd fights the guy that gave Spadafora trouble. Actually dropped Spadafora. He fights Sosa. Sosa was basically not a pushover. I'm just saying that because of that. Sosa was not ranked anymore in the top 10 after losing, but Floyd at that time had his eyes basically on bigger things. We talked about how the relationship with Top Rank was going bad. Floyd had started calling out De La Hoya at this time, and De La Hoya was way up in weight. But Floyd already had his eyes set on that big fight and was still in disagreement with Top Rank. And Floyd was begging for the big fights against the best at this time. Floyd beat Sosa by unanimous decision. Floyd, now that he had moved up to 135, was finding it harder to get knockouts like he was used to getting early in his career. It had nothing to do with his skill, but more to do with fighting bigger guys. That's what happens when you move up and you fight bigger guys. It's always looked at to see, can you carry that same power? Can you still be a knockout artist at the next level? So it had nothing to do with Floyd's skills changing or nothing. It's just when you're getting up against bigger guys, those guys can take bigger punches, and you're getting bigger fights, guys who have been in better and bigger fights, and that's all it was. So let's check this out.
We're in about a 10,000-seat arena here in Fresno. As you look around, we're looking at probably 4,000 or 5,000 empty seats. Here comes Victoriano Sosa to take his shot at joining the upset streak, which has brought so many prize fighters out of nowhere to sudden prominence this year.
A second cousin to Sammy Sosa. He says there are about 500 to 1,000 relatives in that Sosa clan. In fact, his last two victories were over a non-relative named Sosa.
He knocked Paul Spadafore down in the 4th round and seemed on the verge of winning a lightweight title belt, and then fell prey to Spadafore's softball tactics the rest of the way as he overcommitted and hunted for a one-punch knockout. He looks back now and says, that was my big tactical error. I got too excited. And here comes Pretty Boy Floyd, and you see the sterling record in title fights. But George Foreman, as one of the sport's biggest stars, I must ask you, you are Floyd Mayweather Jr., you're on the top 6 pound-for-pound fighters in the world, and you're fighting in Fresno. Should you learn something from that?
Well, first of all, Fresno has got a wonderful turnout tonight, but Vegas is where everybody want to be, and there's something wrong somewhere. I blame it on the promoters and the manager, not the fighter. All they're supposed to do is get in the ring and kick it. The rest is up to selling it.
All right. Good popping jab by Mayweather. And again, he's got the body carefully protected.
Mayweather's taking command of the pocket himself now. He's not stepping back, staying in the middle of the rope, even out on his defense. Just blocking, let the other guy do it.
Of course, Floyd grew up in a fighting family. His father and both of his uncles, all of them successful professional fighters. Right hand by Sosa. He thinks he hurt Mayweather, trying to go to the body. Floyd bounces in place as if to say, I'm fine. To landing one punch at a time.
You know, most of his sensational wins were at 130. Since moving up to 135, this is his 3rd fight. And he hasn't been able to put a serious dent into his opponents as a full lightweight.
He could have gotten a knockout tonight, I tell you that. He just
Watch out for Floyd.
The power, everything is there.
Well, it'll be interesting to hear what Floyd tells us about this, assuming he gets the decision win that he appears to deserve. It's rare. Last week I was with him. Bob Arum standing above us and smiling as Mayweather charts another win. The on-again, off-again promoter-fighter relationship there will be good if Mayweather won. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Chuck Hassett scores the contest 118 to 110. Lou Filippo scores at 119 to 109. And John Woodburn scores at 118 to 110. All for the winner by unanimous decision, and still the WBC lightweight champion of the world,